I'll enjoy my now iced coffee and ooh. I think these ice cubes had a lot of crap in them. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, guess what? I just hit 1,000 subscribers this morning. Yay! Hi, new people and old people and young people. Welcome to my channel that is all about the game dev and the art and whatever else tickles my fancy. I don't like that phrase, tickles my fancy. So I released my first very non-game version of my game last devlog, and I got so much good feedback, and the biggest piece of feedback was that I needed to adjust the coloring, shading, saturation of the background because it was hard to tell where the character was. It was hard to see the character in front of it. So that's what I'm working on this week. And it's been super cool. I've been using some tutorials that I found mostly from Blackthorn Prod. He does some really cool stuff with lighting and shading and opacity of different sprites to sort of, well, I've used it in a way that's given my background sprites some more layering and depth. So I'll show you that. And I'm going to attempt to introduce some parallax. I've done it before, so it shouldn't be too hard. I just have to, it's more about script structuring than anything. And I made some music. I was not planning on doing this, and it's not in my game at this point, but I found this tool that I can't pronounce the name. I'll put a little picture of it here. And it makes MIDI music, and I love MIDI music. Some of my favorite game soundtrack ever is from the Earth Special Forces mod of Half-Life, which has, it's like the Dragon Ball Z first-person shooter Half-Life mod, and it has the best music ever. So I made a little song. I'll play it a little bit later with some of my game. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have already seen it because I posted it right now when I created it. Yeah, so there's a lot of fun stuff that I'm working on as well. So that is where I'm at currently. One more thing is I forgot that I had painted some new sprites and stuff that I could throw in, like trees and plants. So I might throw them in this round, we'll see. I think I've cut them out and everything. So we'll see if those show up. I don't know. Gosh, there's so much I want to do. There's so much I want to do. Like, I want to make a character select screen because I have 2 characters. I want to make some kind of 2-player mode available. I want to actually put my robot back in. Oh, maybe that's what I should do. I had an idea today that I could have like flying robots and that you have to shoot them out of the sky because that would be so cool. And I'm just like full of ideas and I just don't know where to start. So I'm just trying not to let myself get ahead of myself. I don't know if this looks good or if it looks stupid. Wow. Ooh. You know, it looks pretty cool. I like it a lot. Going to my favorite restaurant for lunch. I'm gonna show you around. Okay, so Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay. I couldn't choose what environment colors I wanted, so I made all of them, and I thought I would have different times of the day happen during the game. So I have my morning color scheme you can see here. I wasn't sure if I should do a pink sky or a yellow sky. I think I prefer the yellow. And then I wrote down all the colors so I wouldn't forget. And then here's my daytime one. I think I want to make the sky a little bit brighter. But I like this. And then sunset. This one looks kind of evil. I feel like it needs some adjustment, but I wanted some reds and oranges. And then the night, which is my favorite. Blues and purples. And hopefully the night can cycle back into the morning and it will just loop forever. So what I'm doing is I'm going to write a program that I've already written one just to test it out that changes the skybox tint color from one color to the next along a gradient. So I'm basically going to build on that and do it for all of my different fade, I call them fades. It's basically just this like semi-transparent smushy color sprite that I have in between each layer. So I'll change those colors as well throughout a gradient over time. So I think I can make a multicolor gradient programmatically and then just loop through it. Who knows? I'm going to find out. So I just wanted to show how I've done my sunset script. It's not the most intuitive way, and I'm sure there's a much better and more efficient way of doing it, but this is what I thought of. After I showed it, some people told me that I could use lighting to actually get different colored effects instead of actually changing the colors of the sprites, which again is probably way more efficient, but I'd already done it and I don't want to go back and remove it all. Maybe later I will, but I'll just show you how this works in my convoluted way of making a sunset. So as you saw before, I picked out all the colors for each layer. I'm doing the fade on 3 different game objects, and so I put that size there, and then for each game object that I want to adjust the colors to, I drop it into this spot. So I have the back fade, mid fade, and front fade. I have 3 fade objects that I've put in there, and you can see they're just big sprites that are kind of this white out color that I've stretched across the whole scene. So yeah, those are very easily manipulated. So for each fade, I cycle through 4 colors. So this would be the morning color, the daytime color, the evening, and the night. And so they'll all correspond with each other. Basically, I go through each array and create a gradient of those 4 colors, and then over time it will transition from one color to the next for each of the fades. And then I have another for the skybox, and this is also a convoluted way of doing it because it's not even tinting the skybox, it's actually tinting the skybox object that's sitting in my sprite folder. So this object actually gets changed the color here. I don't know how to do it in a better way, but it works and it gets reset every time, so it doesn't really, even though it gets stuck here on the evening, for example, it'll get reset to the morning when the game starts. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, that I took my skybox texture, my clouds, and I just took off all the saturation so it's all gray. It was easier to change colors this way because before I had lots of blues and pinks and beiges, so that was hard to tint and have it look good. So I just made it gray, and then I can control it in-game however I want to. My Parallax Script is also in here. This is my whole atmosphere object. So for each layer, it tells you basically what speed to move it. So I make different layers and they all have different speeds, and I drop the objects in each layer, and it'll just give that speed to whatever that object layer is. If you have any questions, I'm happy to elaborate. And again, I know this isn't the most efficient way of doing things, but I'm still new to this whole world, so I'm figuring it out as I go. Okay, it's time for the final showcase, showdown, show off, show up, show out. I'm going to show you what I have so far. I've turned off my level generator for the time being just to show you more focus on the background stuff that I've built. So you can see probably already that my sunset script is running in action. The background is slowly changing from yellow to blue, and then it'll go orange, and then it'll go dark blue. And so that's pretty cool. It happens just as we go. And I have my parallax is working properly this time. I put my plants and trees on the same level as my grass, and then I put the grass actually at a bit of a more behind level as the platform that I'm running on. And yeah, so I'm just gonna see how it's getting dark. Looks so pretty, right? Okay, I'm just gonna move this. This is how video games work, right? I just love it. I don't know, I think it looks really nice with the mountains in the background. The flowers are kind of hidden by the grass. What do you think? Something I was working on actually was working on putting some new objects in the game, and the floor was actually too bright and the objects couldn't show on it, so I might actually put a fade in front of the floor as well, just so that it's only the things that move that are really stand out in terms of contrast, so that's probably going to happen. Oh look, you can see the bottom of my sprite there. So I did vertical parallax and I did horizontal parallax, so when he jumps up you could see that they move slightly vertically to each other. Yeah, oh my gosh, I think it looks so pretty. What do you think? What do you think? It's like it's like the game doesn't do anything right now at all. But I'm just enjoying like being here so much because it looks so nice. So satisfying. Okay, that's it for this episode. I just did atmospheric stuff and music, but I hope you like what I've done. I'm trying to release these more often, so I'm doing less in each video. So we'll see how that goes. Also quickly, I forgot to do this because I said I was going to do it in the video, but I totally added in these sprites that I said I was going to add just now, and I forgot to do it before my final showcase. So here, look, I added new sprites and they fit in perfectly. Okay, that's it. Bye!